Hey, this is Cameron, and welcome to the reaction log. Whoa. It's been a pretty long week. I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm tired. Tomorrow is my dedicated filming day, but you know what? I'm gonna throw in one extra, kinda oddball one, just because friend of the channel and former student Jay, how's it going, Jay? Hope you're doing well. He sent me this New York Times article with a very interesting title, might I add, Sleeping with the Guitar Player. And, you know, it's been a little while since I've, read something from Reddit or something like that, so maybe it could be cool if I take a break from all of the gosh darn dense academic articles that I'm reading for my classes right now that take up so much of my freaking time. So maybe we can just read something that's a little bit lighter and something that focuses a little more on a subject matter that I'm familiar with, which is this right here. Boom! Hey, by the way, why do I care about this? Because I am a classical guitarist here on YouTube. Hey, and what does it mean to be a classical guitarist? It means that they're probably not talking about you, because if they did, it would say, with the classical guitar player. A guitar player, I can only imagine, is a steel stringer or an electric guitar player, someone who maybe plays bar gigs or something, I don't know. The only place I play is in a practice room, and once every several years or so, I will finally play in an auditorium for probably no one. Whoa! Classical guitar guys, right? Hey, you know, I'm a little tired. It's the end of the day, and like I said, this isn't my official filming day, but I think I just want to do one little extra one where we just kind of talk about this for a little bit. So, let's go ahead and jump into Sleeping with the Guitar Player, written by Gene Naff Corlitz. Let's take a look at this person really quick. That's someone that has great taste in men, clearly by the title of this article. Alright. In the ages of man, there are the classics: infancy, childhood, adulthood. Oh, you mean literally the ages of, a guy, like a man? We have the midlife crisis, of course. Oh yeah, so dear to therapists and second wives everywhere. Hey, do you guys believe in divorce? Post in the comments. There is adolescence, which in some men seems to last. Oh well, when does it end? But in the last few years, I've experienced via my husband another masculine stage. One I've been blissfully unaware of. This is the time of a man's life that I must now and forever think of as the guitar in the basement phase. The masculine urge to buy a guitar in your midlife and take it to the basement. You know, I'd like to say that I'm looking at my future right now, but I think I've always been in this phase. 6 years ago, when my husband, full name, Paul Muldoon, geez, dude. A poet who teaches at Princeton brought home an electric guitar, carried it down to the basement of our house in New Jersey, and plugged it in. I was laughing too hard to absorb the enormity of what was happening. That's nice. Laughing at someone for starting a new hobby. That's great. I knew he loved music. Growing up in Ireland during the 1960s, he was present at the birth of British rock, and he knew far more about American blues and its influence on both sides of the Atlantic than I had ever cared to learn. He leaped into action when the U2 tickets went on sale and had dragged me over the years to many concerts I despised. Wow, dude, we're just kind of airing our dirty laundry out for everyone, huh? This is a little, weird. Did Paul get to proofread this before you published it to New York Times? I once fell asleep listening to Bob Dylan at the Beacon Theater. Hey, I actually relate with you on that one. I probably would too. Look at me, classical guitarist, saying you'd fall asleep to pop music. How many of you have gotten super tired at a classical music recital before? All of you, I'm sure, if you've been to one. I certainly have. It's happened more times than I can count, but I would prefer that so much more to the, I think, worst thing that can happen to you at a classical music recital, which is uncontrollable laughing. That's happened to me on 2 instances. One of them, it was a solo tuba recital. I mean, come on. Once you close your eyes and listen to that music and you get the idea of farting in your head, you're done. You're done, son, after that. I was also in middle school when that happened, to be fair. I honestly don't know if I'd be able to hold it together, though. And then the other one was it was either Baroque or Renaissance. When was the recorder popular? I think Baroque sounds right, the Baroque recorder, right? It was in a different tuning system than we're used to or something. It just sounded so badly out of tune, and I was there with friends. This was in college, actually. I feel kind of bad about this. And every time I calmed myself down, I would look over at my buddy, and it was just like... and it would all just start over again. Really shameful stuff. Anywho, what are we reading here? Still, I failed to realize that the very loud sounds coming from beneath the living room floor, portend, not to be confused with pretend, pretending to be a guitarist in your basement, he portended to be a sign or warning that something, especially something monumentous or cataclysmic, is likely to happen. To portend. Failed to realize that the very loud sounds coming from beneath the living room floor portended great changes for our family. Oh no. I was pregnant with our second child. Oh, you freaking loser husband. Oh, man, you're just in the basement drinking beer, playing Led Zeppelin. Awesome, dude. And to be honest, I wasn't focusing very well. Yeah, from the sounds coming from the basement. When Paul played his guitar in the basement, the whole building vibrated. Paul, you are an inconsiderate person. Your pregnant wife is upstairs. It sounds like you live in an apartment building. The whole building vibrated. You played an electric guitar so loud that the whole building vibrated. Crazy, dude. And I would sit there 1 story up swaying with nausea. Paul, dude, you can't be doing this. Get a classical guitar, Paul. I promise you that would be so much better received, Paul. You gotta get the classical. When I couldn't stand it any longer, I went to the top of the basement stairs and flicked the light to get his attention. Please stop. He stopped. Paul, please stop. I can't hear Sultans of Swing any longer. Please, Paul. This was not, I would soon discover, a mere matter of purchasing a single musical instrument. Oh, when is it ever, right? We were on an acquisition conveyor belt of more guitars and related equipment, the charms of each soon negated by the undulations of the next. After the first guitar, a quart. Dude, let's look at a freaking quart guitar. I don't even know what these are. How much did he spend on his first guitar? Oh, okay. That's actually a very reasonable first electric guitar. I feel like if you're in your 40s and you're gonna start playing guitar and you have some money, you're gonna spend like $1,000 on like a Fender Strat or something. Good job. Great electric guitar. This is enough to show you that electric guitar is stupid, and then you can buy a classical for like $7,000 to $10,000. And its sidekick amplifier, Paul ordered up a Fender Stratocaster. Oh, heck yeah, dude. I didn't even freaking read that. A Gibson Les Paul. Okay, he's dropping some cash now. A Marshall amp. A reissue 1952 Telecaster, like the guitar Keith plays, Keith Richards, I imagine. An Ibanez acoustic/electric and a Fender Acoustum Sonic amp. Amazing, dude. How much does a Marshall amp cost? Let me actually see that, because I kind of have an idea for everything else. I don't know, probably this one, like $800. All right. $1,500 if you go for the stack. I mean, sure, dude. Yeah, all that gear you just bought, you could buy one really phenomenal classical guitar. So that's sad. Hey, we got an advertisement. Let's look at this. Van Cleef Apparels. You can get this for your wife for for playing too much guitar in the basement. You can get her a bedazzled zipper. Okay. What's that for? Looks like some parts of it fell off there too. Jeez. Discover the Zip collection. What is this? I feel like I need to watch it. Nice music though. What? Like, am I dead right now? Like, am I like experiencing some alternate reality where this is a thing? I could not imagine this in my wildest dreams. It is a freaking zipper with emeralds on it, and you get this for someone to show them that they love you. What do you put it on? It's a zipper. It's a tool to close things. What? Okay, do you wear it like a necklace? This is weird. This is a weird way to end my day. I don't know. I came in this looking for like some story time, but whatever. All right, let's move past that one. It was a new and unwelcome side of a man I thought I'd known pretty well. No. You know nothing of this man. Born to shred, bro. A man who never shopped, who wore a watch with a cracked plastic band, and who drove an old, unlovely car, knocked askew by a deer a decade ago. Now he is making special trips to Sam Ash in New York City. I imagine the salesmen nudging one another. Here comes another guitar in the basement, dude. That's where you get those commission checks, dog. Heck yeah. You know, this is funny, because I feel like I've sort of been through this phase now, because I did literally spend 15 grand on guitars within a year. At least I'm not midlife though, or I mean, as far as I know. I like to believe I'm like 30% done. What's 27 times 3? 81? 81's pretty old. Am I gonna make it to 81? I don't know. I might be halfway there. So I think I might have had my midlife crisis where I spent a bunch of money on guitars, but at least they were worth the money though. You just bought a bunch of Chinese factory guitars with an amp that sounds just as crappy as any other amp, and you spent God knows how much, probably 15 grand, probably the same amount for all that. Gradually, I began to understand that it wasn't just him. There were hordes of men out there, roughly his age, frolicking in guitar wonderlands and shoring up amp arsenals in their own basements in the weeks after September 11th. Well, where is this going? When I began each sad day with the portraits of grief in New York Times. Okay. Dude, I hope your husband wailed the national anthem from the basement with that new Marshall stack and that Stratocaster. Once at a friend's dinner party, always seated next to a terribly dull financial manager I'd been shackled with during cocktails. To my surprise, they began an avid conversation which lasted all through the meal. At a loss to imagine what they might possibly have found to talk about, let alone with such animation. He has a Stratocaster in his basement, Paul said happily as we drove home. He just got a wah-wah pedal. Oh, dude, I hope it was the Kirk Hammett wah-wah pedal. Let's take a look at that. Dude, if I were to get a wah pedal, this is the wah pedal for me. Heck yeah. Only $200 for that? That's a deal. That's the stupidest purchase you could ever make right there. Dude, ask our expert. You think this guy knows about the Kirk Hammett wah pedal? Get out of here. What is a sales engineer? Oh no, I guess we are reacting to something.
Sweetwater makes finding the perfect gear for you fast, easy, and fun, with helpful advice from our expert sales engineers.
Sales engineer is a little bit of a weird way to call that. Like a sales representative. Engineer is somebody who innovates and builds things, as far as I know. Like, what exactly are you doing when you're taking sales calls? And I'm not, like, belittling salespeople, because that's a job. Like, it has to be done. But engineer, it's just like, what, are you trying to make my job title sound better than it is? I felt the same way when I was a teenager, and I remember applying to jobs for, like, Subway, and they would call it, like, sandwich artist. And it's like, you don't have to make it more than it is. It's just a Subway job. Like, it feels degrading at a point. Like, oh no, you're actually an artist. That justifies us paying you so little because you're doing this for the passion. Make my Subway sandwich for exposure, you little artist. And it's like, screw you. Like, just call my job what it is. I make sandwiches and, like, I'm not passionate about that. I'm not passionate about people coming into a store and being mean to me and then demanding I make their sandwich for like $9. And I don't even get the $9. I get it like per hour. At least like when I was a kid. Hopefully they make more now. I don't know, those kinds of vibes. Alright, moving on. Just got a wah-wah pedal. Heck yeah. Inevitably, Paul started to play with some of these men. There was a lawyer, oh no, a lawyer, a dentist, I'm sure, who possessed an entire recording studio in his apartment. Dude, awesome. That's what you gotta find right there, your lawyer friend. Initially, heading out after dinner with the guitar packed into the back seat was a grand occasion, a thrilling adventure for him, if not for me. Why? Because he's like out of the house, disturbing someone else's wife. But soon it became a more routine outing. You don't mind if I rehearse tonight, do you? He'd ask. Rehearse, I think, baffled. He was still learning basic chords on the instrument. Rehearse? Look who's the critic all of a sudden. Hey, you get pissed off when he's practicing, but you still think he's not good enough. Alright, maybe instead of spending all that money on gear, you should get some guitar lessons. Maybe you can go to Sam Ash and ask them for some. I bet they can teach you, because I'm sure the style of music you're trying to learn does not take a particularly sophisticated teacher. I'm sorry. I'm a douchebag, did you know that? It took a long time for me to figure out what I was dealing with, but I'm a woman, which means that, in my heart of hearts, I have long understood that certain things are never going to happen in my life. I'm so sorry. I wouldn't, by way of example, be modeling swimsuits for Sports Illustrated, representing my country as an Olympic gymnast, or dancing cappella for the New York City Ballet. I have dealt with these disappointments and, in the idiom of our age, moved on. But my husband, my wonderful, endearing husband, who is extremely successful at writing and teaching poetry, believed at the age of 53 that it was utterly possible for him to become a rock guitarist. Just the hardest thing ever. I'm sorry, how long does it take to become a rock guitarist again?
A rock and roll guitarist can be turned out in 12 hours flat. The classical player must devote at least 12 solid years to patient study.
Your husband doesn't have 12 hours to focus on that? On a stage, in front of an audience, why not? Why can't a 53-year-old become a rock guitarist? It's like the easiest genre to learn on guitar. It's nothing. Hey, he can't become David Russell. I believe that. I can't become freaking David Russell. And I've been doing this stuff for years and years. I dedicate my whole life to it. That doesn't deter me from practicing classical music, though, because I can still play classical music in a way that even David Russell can't play. It's how I play it. hear my playing and then you go like, oh, that's a little disconcerting the way you're playing that and all the choices you're making, but it's still me. That's the reason why we do this, because making music is fun and it feels good. And like, what else are you gonna do with your life on Earth? What other meaningful thing can you find to do besides making music, if that's something that you're in love with? I think you're, one, underestimating what your husband can do, because he's clearly a smart guy. He's like a professor. And you're also overestimating how hard it is to be a rock guitarist. Punk rock, you know, like, they know nothing. They don't know how to do anything other than play 3 frets, one at a time, of course, not 3 at the same time. I mean, just like 1, 4, 5. Sorry for all the punk rockers out there. I mean, 5, 5, 7. I was talking chord progressions, which you don't need to know at all to play that. Why can't he be a rock guitarist? So mean. Our 12-year-old daughter dubbed the new band Freaks with Guitars. It's making me sad. But the actual name encompassed a more subtle humor. They were called Racket, and by now the 3 older men had been joined by 3 cute young guys just out of college. Interesting way to describe them. They started writing songs, the Renaissance poetry professor on music, my husband on lyrics. A couple of those cute young guys could really sing. The Renaissance poetry professor was a superb guitar player, actually. Dude, your husband just frickin' sucks, huh? He can't do anything. Except write lyrics, to be fair. But he's not cute, he's not young, and he's not superb at guitar. And he thinks that he can be a rock guitarist at 53. What a loser, right? Within months, the recording made in Lawyer's studio were sounding not all that different from the music my 12-year-old was blasting in her room. The keyboardist, who runs his own breath mint company, began to talk about producing the eventual CDs. It's that kind of diversity that makes a band, I think. Somebody just owns a breath mint company. You can pass those out at shows. That's kind of cool. I no longer bothered to try to talk sense into my husband. It sounds like your husband is doing awesome. He has a band. They're like gonna have CDs soon. They have music. My notion of reality had departed the day I had come home to find Paul playing over and over a recorded phone message from one of the few rock stars we both revered, Warren Zevon. Mr. Zevon had read some of his poetry. When Paul hit play on the answering machine, I heard the author of Werewolves of London, an excitable boy, pronounce my husband the best darn poet on the planet. I don't know what the deal is with not believing in him. It sounds like he picked up a hobby and in a very short amount of time he's already finding success in it. Most people will never be like this. Like, this guy's awesome. In due course, they would meet, become friends, write 2 songs together, including My Rides Here. Oh, okay, I feel like she's just promoting his band now. Books about the music business began to accumulate in our bedroom. Paul formed a publishing company. Dude, Paul's freaking, oh my god, Paul. There's nothing this man can't do. He just randomly formed a publishing company to register his lyrics and become a member of ASCAP. Racket was offered its first gig in Greenwich Village Club. Bruce Springsteen produced a live recording of My Rides Here for Warren Zevon's posthumous tribute album. Okay, what even is this article anymore? What am I reading? I don't know what kind of connections these people have. It seems like they have some connections, because most bands don't have whatever this crap is. Bruce Springsteen produced their song after they got their first ever gig. What? Like, okay. Like, sounds like maybe some other stuff happened before that. Is this story even real? What even is this? Let's look up Racket, because I don't know what the deal is with this band. They just got super successful for like seemingly no reason. They didn't come up when I looked them up. My Rides Here. Hey, 4 Raws is the last thing I listened to. Alright, this better be good.
I was staying in the Marriott with Jesus and John Wayne. I was waiting for a chariot, the sky was full of carrion. I'll take the Mazuma.
It's pretty wordy so far. You know, I think she was definitely just advertising her husband's band. Who even is Warren Zevon? The song kind of sucks.
My ride's here.
Yeah, dude, he couldn't possibly learn how to play that riff at 53. Are you kidding me? It's too hard. It's way too hard. That that's that Marshall amp tone right there. Oh yeah.
I was staying at the Westin. I was playing to a drum. Tablets of the law, he said, it's still the greatest.
Dude, does anybody listen to this? This kind of sucks. It's kind of weird, like just Americana, but not one of the classics. I don't know. This is a weird song. All right, well, that was that one. Hopefully you enjoyed me just like reading an article and reacting to that. It kind of burned my brain out a little bit, which I'm going to need it for doing more homework after this. But that's okay. I make that sacrifice for you. Anyways, let's go ahead and wrap this one up here. Of course, if you made it this far, be sure to subscribe and leave a like. Guitar lessons, I ain't offering them, but maybe contact one of the people that we saw here today, and they can teach you how to play some rock music. I do know some grad students who are looking for classical guitar students, so if you're interested, send me an email. If I don't reply to you, I'm not ghosting you. I'm just really busy. Of course, Rootin's Delight. We got the Thior bug on today, so head on down over to Rootin's Delight for some honest merch. All right, well, it's been a hoot and a holler, and I'll see you in the next one.